Back to Info Bites, let's get into it. Facts about the nature of war, focusing on how history is shaped by the victors and the public perception of atrocities. History is written by the victors. This cliché holds a fundamental truth. The winning side controls the narrative, shaping how a conflict is remembered. Propaganda is a primary weapon. Both sides use propaganda to justify their actions, demonize the enemy, and rally public support. Demonization of the enemy is a key tactic. By portraying the opposition as inhuman, evil, or barbaric, it becomes easier to justify violence against them. Atrocity propaganda can be based on exaggeration or fabrication. While atrocities happen in every conflict, propagandists often invent or distort them to stir up hatred. The good war concept is a post hoc rationalization. Many conflicts, including World War II, are retrospectively framed as a moral crusade, obscuring the ethical complexities and questionable actions of the victors. Moral equivalence is often rejected. The victor's narrative often presents their side as morally superior, making it difficult to discuss the war crimes committed by their own forces on equal terms. Historical revisionism is not always malicious. While some revisionists have a political agenda, the re-evaluation of history based on new evidence or perspectives is a natural part of academic study. The media plays a crucial role. The media acts as a conduit for information and a tool for propaganda, shaping public opinion by deciding what stories to tell and how to frame them. Civilian suffering is often a hidden truth. While military casualties are recorded, the immense and often overlooked suffering of civilians from starvation, displacement, and disease is a major hidden aspect of war. Victor's justice is a common phenomenon. When war crimes are prosecuted, it is almost always the losing side that is put on trial, regardless of the actions of the winning side. Atrocities are often publicized to justify war. Stories of enemy atrocities are used to create a casus belli or to maintain public support for a conflict. The rape of Belgium in WWI is a prime example of atrocity propaganda. While German soldiers did commit real acts of violence, Allied propaganda exaggerated and fabricated stories to vilify the enemy. The Nuremberg trials showcased the atrocities of the defeated. These trials, while essential for establishing international law, focused exclusively on the crimes of the Nazi regime, ignoring similar actions by Allied forces. The Tokyo trials similarly prosecuted Japanese war crimes. The International Military Tribunal for the Far East tried Japanese leaders for war crimes but did not investigate actions like the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The bombing of Dresden is a contested topic. The Allied firebombing of this German city, which killed tens of thousands of civilians, is a historical event often cited to highlight the victor's own capacity for brutality. War crimes are not just committed by monsters. Soldiers, under the immense pressure of combat and dehumanization of the enemy, can commit atrocities that they would not consider in peacetime. Sexual violence is a hidden weapon of war. Often underreported, sexual violence is systematically used as a weapon to terrorize, demoralize, and subjugate enemy populations. The My Lai massacre revealed a dark truth of the Vietnam War. While the U.S. government initially tried to cover it up, the public exposure of the massacre of hundreds of unarmed Vietnamese civilians tarnished the moral standing of the American war effort. Mass graves are powerful tools for public display. The discovery and media coverage of mass graves are often used by the victors to horrify the world and solidify the image of the enemy's barbarism. The display of enemy corpses is a historical constant. From ancient times to modern conflicts, the public display of enemy bodies is a way to celebrate victory, instill fear, and demonstrate power. Victors face their own ethical dilemmas. After winning a war, a nation must grapple with the moral fallout, including how to treat the defeated population and how to remember their own actions. The use of torture is often justified as a necessary evil. Winning sides often defend their use of torture or other ethically dubious methods by claiming they were essential for victory or preventing future attacks. Cover-ups are common. Governments and militaries frequently try to suppress evidence of their own misconduct to protect their image and avoid public outcry. A war's end doesn't always bring justice. Many war criminals from the victorious side are never held accountable due to political immunity or lack of will to prosecute their own. The post-war occupation often involves continued violence. Even after a formal surrender, occupation forces can commit atrocities against the local population, which are often suppressed or downplayed in official histories. War's consequences extend for generations. The trauma and division caused by a conflict do not end with the signing of a peace treaty. They can shape a society's culture and politics for decades. War is hell is the universal truth. Regardless of who wins or loses, all sides suffer immense loss, trauma, and moral compromise. The term war crime itself is politically charged. What constitutes a war crime can be interpreted differently depending on who is in power and who is being accused. The official story is rarely the whole story. The official historical record of a conflict is almost always incomplete, leaving out the untold stories of civilian suffering, personal sacrifice, and moral gray areas. Remembrance is a form of power. How a nation chooses to remember a war through memorials, museums, and national holidays is a reflection of its values and its desire to control the historical narrative.
We'll be making more similar videos. Please subscribe.